Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Stubborn, and in this video we're gonna look at how to use Vlookup in Excel. So first of all, we have some data here, which is the sales agent number, the sales for the month in USD, which is in terms of amount, the number of sales, and the region. So out from this table, say we need to find out what is the sales for the month, the number of sales and region for these 7 sales agent. Now we could do this manually. We could say look for 1184, which is here, and just copy paste this data. But say for example you have 10,000 lines here and you want to look for 100 different lines for of sales agent, then how would you do that? So we can use VLOOKUP to get this done. So let's see how to use VLOOKUP. First of all, you would go in the cell where you want the output of the VLOOKUP to be. So let's say we want the output of the sales for the month for sales agent 1184 in this cell here, H5. So we start by pressing the equal to button. So we are now ready to put the formula. So let's say I type VLO. So now if you can see, Excel's already given me a list of all the formulas that start with VLO. And there's only one. So if I go back and just type V, you'll see a list of all the other formulas that start with V. So let's say we type VLO and we have VLOOKUP here. Now you can either click on this or press the tab button. So I'm going to press the tab button and then it completes the formula for us and lets us start with the inputs that the formula needs. So the first input we need for VLOOKUP is the lookup value. So what do you want to find is you would enter here. So we want to find this cell. So that's our lookup value. And to go to the next input, we'll press the comma. As you can see here, after we lookup value, there's a small comma. So if I press comma now, it lets me jump to the next input. So now it's asking us to give the table array, which means you want to look this value in which table, where is the range that you want to look this for. So this is the range that we need to find the sales agent number and then give us the sales for the month in USD. Now we need to put dollars before the column reference B and column reference C and row reference 5 and row reference 29 in order to keep the table array static. Now I'll show you how this would work if we don't put the dollar signs. Now one quick way of doing this is if you press the F4 button on your keyboard, Excel will automatically put dollar signs before all the references, the row and the column references. So that's our table array there. If I press comma again, it lets me input the third input, which is the column index number. So now we need to tell Excel that look up for this value in this range, which is this or the table array, and give me the output from which column. So for this particular range, this is our row 1, this is our column 1, this is our column 2, which is the sales for the month. So now I'm gonna say give me the output from column 2. So I've pressed 2 now and I'll press comma again. So we move to the next input. Now here Excel is asking us, do you want an exact match or do you want an approximate match? In this case, we want an exact match. So you can either select using your mouse false, which is the exact match, or you can use 0, which is also for false value, which is the exact match. So I'm going to keep it 0 and close bracket and hit the enter button. So now you can see we have the output for sales for the month for sales agent 1184. So if we were to check here, 37321, and we're getting 37321. If I drag this down, if you will see, the formula stays static. Sorry, the table array stays static. It does not move. If we were to remove the dollar signs and then drag it, if let's say we go to this row and check the formula, you can see that the table moves. The table array has moved. That is because we've not given Excel the dollar signs. So it thinks that when we drag this down for this particular row, the table should start from here and not from here. So I'm going to go back in. Now there are multiple ways to do it. Okay, I can either manually type. So I'm manually typing the dollar sign before the column reference B and the column reference, and the row reference 5. So I can either do this, or I can click on this reference and I can hit F4. I'll hit F4 multiple times so you can see what the difference is. So if you see, the dollar sign before the column reference C has gone, and the dollar sign before the row reference 29 is still there. If I press F4 again, it changes it from the row reference to the column reference, and if I press again, it takes it away. If I press again, it gives us the dollar sign for both references, column and row. So this is the way we want it. I'm going to hit enter and now drag it down again, and as you can see, the table array does not move. So a few things to remember is the VLOOKUP should always be in, the lookup value should always be in the first column. What does this mean? Is that this lookup value G5, which is this, should always be in column 1 of our table array. If it is not in column 1, then VLOOKUP is not going to work. Secondly, make the table range static using dollar sign before the row and column reference. This is what we just checked. Now, exact match is equal to 0, which is also false, and approximate match is equal to 1, which is also true, which is this part here. The fourth input we have to give in the formula. Next thing to remember is if you have duplicate values, VLOOKUP will always give you the first value in ascending order rows. Say for example, this 1184 here was also 1184 here, and if we were to put VLOOKUP, it's always going to give us this value no matter how many times we put the VLOOKUP, and not the value which is down here. So these are the few things you need to remember when you put VLOOKUP. Now if you liked the video and if you find that this video has helped you, don't forget to like the video and click the subscribe button. For more videos, stay tuned as I'll be putting a few videos in the coming months. This can be done for multiple columns. Now we've already put it for the sales for the month in USD. Let's try and put the VLOOKUP for number of sales. So say VLOOKUP, hit the tab button. This is my lookup value, comma. This is my table. Now it's not necessary that the last column should be the one you need. I can even do it this way, and instead of saying I want the fourth output, I actually only want the third output. So I can say 3. Before saying 3, I should hit F4 to make the table array static. So now the column index is column 1, column 2, and column 3. We want this column. We want the output from this column. So it doesn't matter how many columns you have selected until the time you give the correct column index. So if I say 3, 0, 3 meaning the column index 3, and 0 for an exact match. and I press enter now, it's giving us 31, which is correct. Let's try it one more time, and this time I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna just put the VLOOKUP at my normal pace. There we go. So we have put VLOOKUP for three different table headers. Now this can also be done using the index match function, which we would be doing in another video, and I'll give a link in the description down below or on the top right corner of this video. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon.